everybody, I'm your host Ellen, and welcome to The Perfect Daughter, the podcast where I, a non-perfect daughter, discuss everyday life for teens/kids and everyday life of the world. So I bet that usually when you're listening to this podcast, or any podcast for that matter, maybe you're doing something like you're cleaning your room, maybe you're catching up on some homework, or maybe you're just chilling and having a chai latte and listening to this amazing podcast. But whatever you're doing, stop. Unless you're like driving or biking or skateboarding, don't stop in the middle of the road. But if you're not doing those things, stop. And I want you to go put on something. It can be a piece of clothing. It can be an accessory. It can be a whole outfit. It can be a pair of shoes, a piece of jewelry, whatever you want. But it has to make you feel stylish, cool, confident, comfortable, and like you can take on the world and you can do whatever you want and nothing can stop you. I'm going to go do that too. So you go do that. Just pause the episode. Okay, BRB. All right, we're back. So I just put on my favorite pair of jeans ever. They're from Madewell, which, I mean, in my opinion, they have the best jeans ever. That and Levi's and Abercrombie. Okay, I don't know if I can even say brand names, but I don't think they're going to sue me. Anyway, I also have this white collared shirt on underneath this comfy sweater that, oh my God, it's so soft. But it's also, I feel like with the collared shirt, I feel comfortable and like cozy, but I also feel like, yeah, let's get this podcast going, right? Let's do this. So while we're feeling comfortable, while we're feeling beautiful, while we're feeling stylish, let's get into this episode. Today, we are talking about beauty standards, fashion, the fashion and beauty industry, the way that social media impacts fashion trends and beauty standards. All of this. Today I'm interviewing Julia. She has been working in the fashion industry for 15 years, so she will tell you in her interview. And then as always, I got my conversation with Tony at the end of the episode. It's all so good. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of The Perfect Daughter.
So my name is Julia. I work in, what I tell people I do is that I work in fashion. I've been in the industry about 15 years, but my focus now is more global supply chain and trims.
Cool. Okay, so here we go. Here are the questions. So do you use any beauty products, and like what ones you use, and then also like when? Do you use it like when you go to work or when you go out?
Yes. So definitely I use a lot of beauty products. I mean, I think it's all relative. Compared to like my mom and my sister, I use a lot compared to maybe other people in other cities. I don't use that much at all. I would say the biggest thing that I use every single day is sunscreen or some sort of tinted moisturizer or CC cream with a sunscreen in it to help against aging. The other thing that is like every day a must for me is a little bit of eyebrows and a little bit of mascara. So that's kind of my like bare minimum if I'm going to see anyone or just going to the store or working from home. And then if I'm going out, I definitely step it up a few notches and spend a little more time, like more foundation, lipstick, eyeliner maybe, and all of those things. I mean, I love beauty products and I think there is a lot that you can do with it. And I just think it's really fun. It's a good way to express yourself and it's like not permanent. So yeah, I think it's great.
So working in fashion, do you think that you have like a different perspective on beauty than when you weren't working in fashion?
Yes, definitely. I think just in terms of the whole fashion side of it, I've never actually really worked in like the beauty space, but I do think it is kind of similar. But I think working in fashion, my tolerance for what I'll pay for products has changed dramatically. Like for example, I know the whole production process. I know a lot of the factories that make a lot of these products. I know that a lot of the same brands use the same factories, despite how much you're paying for them in the end. So I would say that I am less quick to buy a high-end luxury product because I know a lot of the details and background of it. Obviously, there's all these brands that we all really love, or there's something that I might feel like I want to splurge on because it's something special and unique. But a lot of these kind of mass market, I would say kind of like high-end brands, I think are not really that much higher quality than some of your like mid-tier or low-tier brands.
That's really interesting to have like I don't know, just know more about it. Because like when I buy something, I'm just like, oh, this looks cool. I like this how this looks. But it's not like the background of it, really.
Yeah, and I think also too, being in the industry, I understand like fit and construction. And so I'll kind of analyze like, how is this lined? How is it sewn? Is this a high quality seam? Is this low quality? So I kind of analyze like how it's made as well. And I think that kind of like gives a different perspective.
Yeah. So do you my notes are like all
good.
Let's see, where am I at? Oh, have you noticed like differences between before you worked in fashion or even like after whatever, but have you noticed any differences between like the prices of like men's clothes and beauty products versus like the price of women's clothes and beauty products?
I mean, I don't shop in men's a ton. I will say I think that women's fashion, because the whole fast fashion is such a big thing, and there's a big push for women to like buy like every season new things. I do think that the price points have to be a little bit lower in order to have people buying every single season, or let's say a new thing every single month. Whereas I think most men, I'm not going to say all, but I think most men don't really care as much about fashion, and they're more about like function and what do I need to wear. And so I think it's easier for them to say like, okay, I need new pants for work. I'm going to wear these for 3 years. I don't mind spending $150 at Banana Republic. Whereas for women, especially if you're more into fashion and trends, I'm like, I know this is really cool right now, but I don't know if I'm going to wear it in a year. So maybe I don't want to spend $150. Maybe I want to spend $50. So I think that men are willing to pay a little bit higher price point because they're more about like function and longevity. Whereas I think women might be more like fashion and trend driven, and then want to maybe spend less because they know they're not going to wear it as much. But I think also that's kind of a product of our society and the fast fashion that's being pumped into America. So we're like always seeing something new.
I don't know. I'm curious about how that math works out. Like if men spend more maybe money one time than a woman does like on the same product, but then they get that, you know, a product of that same price like 5 times. Is that more than what the man paid for the one like pants or something like that? I don't know.
I know, that would be an interesting study. We did a couple studies at work a few years ago, and they were saying like the average person buys like 6 or 7 pairs of shoes a year. And then we did some other studies on like how many pairs of jeans people buy per year on average. But this was a couple years ago, and I think in the last like 2 to 3 years, the industry has changed a lot, and there's a lot more of like secondhand, Poshmark, thrifting, vintage, like all of those have been really trending. So I don't really know how accurate any of those figures are anymore.
Okay. I read this New York Times article, and it was about this woman who was like she is like a TikToker, and she like tries like beauty supplies, and one of them she's black, and she tried like a foundation for black women, and it was like it said it would match her skin, but it was like
it didn't match.
So
I think I saw this one.
And she was like, this is crazy. Maybe like the quality isn't like, you know, as tested as much maybe, but like also I'm curious about like the prices and stuff, because it's like, you know, is foundation for, you know, people of color the price point different for, you know, people like white people or something?
Yeah, I mean, I think it kind of has to go back to the fact that like everything is kind of focused. I think everything like starts off like being focused on like white women or white men, and then it trickles into like everyone else. And so I think that's just like a sad like lack of diversity, honestly. And I think it's something that like we're seeing it improved in recent years, especially like on the runway, and just seeing like different body types and different colors on people. But I think there's still a long way to improve on that.
Yeah. Do you think that like obviously throughout history there have been like these crazy pressures for women to be like super skinny and thin. Do you think that has increased with social media, that pressure, or do you think it has decreased because of social media, because there's like, you know, the body positive movement and all this stuff that's like, you know, supporting larger, specifically women? Do you think it's like increased or decreased?
I do think like in recent years, there's definitely been a big push for like body positivity, and you're seeing influencers of all different sizes. You're seeing models of different sizes. And I think that's wonderful. I think it's really wonderful for young women. Because it wasn't like that when I was growing up. It was like everyone was super skinny. It didn't matter. There was like not different shapes. And, you know, regardless of your size, there's still like many different shapes. But back in the day, to be a model, you had to fit these like certain standards. You had to be over 5'10". You had to have this inch waist. And now it's just not like that. There are like different bodies. So I think that's really good. That being said, I will say in the last year, Ozempic and all of the weight loss drugs have become increasingly popular and very, very accessible for everyone. And so I do think that that's kind of been like a negative strike on this whole like body positivity thing. But I think it'll be interesting to see how things shake out over the course of the next couple of years with all of this. But I think we made a lot of progress, and then there was like kind of dialed back a little bit just because of all the changes with these drugs.
Yeah. What else do you think, just like in the realm of like bodies and beauty, has changed from when you were like maybe, you know, 14, 15 to now?
I think definitely in terms of like fashion and clothing and fit, it's come such a long way. I just think that, you know, when I was younger, there was like certain things, it was hard to find my size. It was hard. I had to go to maybe certain stores. It was like, for example, really hard to find like swimsuits that would fit me correctly. And now there's just so much variation. There's so much product out there. There's really a lot of different brands that you can focus on. Like, okay, let's say I have like bigger hips or something. I know I can go to this brand, or like say I have a bigger like upper body. Like I know this brand is better for me. And so I think it's just like finding that there's just a lot more companies out there, and there's a lot more companies targeting specific just like body types. And so I think when you can do a lot of research into that and understand like, oh, this brand works well for me, or this, let's say like Abercrombie, for example, they have like the curve love. And so the waist is smaller. If you're like bigger on your bottom half, you won't have like the gapping. So I think things have just come a long way in terms of just like having different fits available. I mean, obviously, as I've gotten older, I've had more time to research it and things like that. But I just don't think this was even out there when I was like in middle school and high school. So I think fit and clothing has come a long way, and that makes all the difference. Like well-fitting clothes, it doesn't matter like what your body type is or how you feel. If you have like well-fitting clothes, like you'll feel better, you'll perform better, you'll look better.
Yeah, that's something like this year I'm trying to be more like intentional about what I'm wearing, just because like I've noticed like, you know, if I go to like a wedding or something and I wear something that's like really stylish and like kind of fancy, I feel great, and I'm like, ooh, I feel good, I feel fancy. And I'm not saying like I have to wear like a dress every single day, like a, you know, sweeping gown or something, but like just being more intentional. So, you know, like some cool fitting jeans or like a hat or something. But yeah, I think it's something about it, like you feel good when you feel good about what you're wearing.
So there's like this psychology of fashion, and it's like if you dress better, you feel better, and you perform better. And so that's like this whole motto I learned when I started working with Athleta, and that was like what they would always preach. You know, if you feel good, if you look good, you feel good, and you perform better. And so there's really like no negative to trying to, you know, dress how you want or dress how you feel your best. And it's all like subjective. It's all about like, how do you feel? What do you feel comfortable in? It's not saying like, you know, if I wear this, then everyone else has to wear that. It's about like, what do you feel best in and what do you feel most confident in? And then playing into that.
Yeah, that's cool. Do you have any like advice for younger people about like beauty, or just like dealing with, unfortunately, the beauty standards that are a part of our society and have been for the past 100 years?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, I will say that just it's okay to follow trends, and it's okay to not follow trends. if you, for example, like something is coming back in fashion and you're not a fan of it, you don't have to participate. Maybe all of your friends are wearing bell bottoms and you hate the way they look on you. Like, don't feel pressure to try to buy bell bottoms, you know? Like,
Yeah.
it took me a long time to get into like wide leg jeans, but you know, I don't wear them every day. Like, sometimes I want to wear a straight jean or something a little more like narrow. So I would say it's okay to play into trends, but don't feel like you have to participate in a trend just because it's a trend. If it's not for you, it's not for you. You know, a lot of people love to wear like their socks showing. I'm a millennial. I love ankle socks. I'm going to keep wearing ankle socks. Like, I don't feel pressure to like buy some white knee-high socks or whatever, crew socks. I don't even know what they're called, honestly. And so that's what I would say. Like, play into the trends if you want, but you don't have to. And I think also just understanding that like you're unique and no one else is you. And the most important thing is to be yourself and be true to yourself, and do just what makes you feel good.
Cool. Yeah. Well, thanks for that was my last question, but do you have anything else to like, I don't know, like add or something that we didn't talk about?
I would say definitely, I think it's a lot easier now for like the younger generation just because there's so much access to the internet. But I would say to just do your research and research like different smaller brands that may be like a good fit for you. Like, you don't have to go to the mainstream that all your friends are shopping at. You can definitely find like smaller stores, or if you find, let's say you find a brand and you love the way their jeans fit, like just maybe stick with them, and you don't have to go to like this new trendy store that everyone's buying their jeans at. If you find something that you like, even if it's something that you're like, you know, oh, no one else shops here, it doesn't matter. If you like it, like stick with it, stick with what you know, stick with what you love.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, Ellen. When is this going to be up?
Hopefully, probably not, it's not going to be up before my school starts, but hopefully in a few months, so.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much. This is my
thank
first
you.
podcast.
Oh. Well, thanks for doing
All
this.
right.
It was great.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
So that was my interview with Julia. I clearly need to work on researching more about where my clothes come from. Definitely going to start doing that from now on. So I just want to let you guys know really quick that the audio in this next part might be a little bit quiet. I tried to turn it up as loud as I could when I edited this episode, but it might just be a little quiet, so you probably will just have to turn up the volume on your headphones or your phone or your computer, whatever you're using to listen to this episode. So sorry about that. It's not on your guys' end, that's on my end. But yeah, you just probably have to turn up the volume a little bit. Here's my conversation with Tony. First question, do you use any beauty products? If so, which ones do you use?
I use a lot of The Ordinary. Right now, currently, hold on, let me see. I am using the Acne Prone from The Ordinary, and I'm using the hydrating serum. And then I use the Sun Bum, their sunscreen. I love them.
I love their sunscreen too.
Sunscreen is my favorite thing in the whole world. Sometimes I use the Ordinary, their toner. I have this one blush from ColourPop that I love using. I love them.
Have you switched to glossier yet?
No, I haven't.
Oh, I'm telling you.
I usually use Laneige, but they're as she was talking about in the interview, Julia, I would say that Laneige and Ordinary are clearly very different, because the Ordinary is not expensive. It's like $9, $6. It's very cheap. And then like I would say like I have a ColourPop lip gloss, and it was like $10, and then Laneige, their lip gloss is $19.
Oh wow, okay.
So like there's definitely a big switch.
Yeah. Do you think that there are pressures for like women and girls to wear makeup?
Yeah, definitely. I would say probably because like you see everyone doing it, so you want to do it.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely peer pressured, but then some people just like to do it. It makes them feel happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when I do that, like when I go to events or something, like I'll put like eyeshadow or something. It's like fun. I usually, I use Aquaphor, and for my lashes, not for like my, and it helps it instead of like mascara. It helps it stay up, and it's clear.
Oh, that's really smart. Have you noticed any differences between the prices, if you like have noticed any, the prices of like men's clothes and beauty products and women's clothes and beauty products?
As Julia was saying, like, I don't go into the men's often.
Yeah.
But, like, I would say that theirs is probably expensive. Not too much, but, like, as she was saying, they'll wear the same thing over and over again. When women will, like, wear a bunch of different things.
Mm-hmm. I feel like, too, like in stores, the women's section is always way bigger than the men's section, too.
Yeah, like at Target, per se. You'll go to, like, the outfit section. Will be, like, a bunch of women's clothing, and there's, like, a little section for the men.
And then have you noticed any price difference or quality difference between beauty products for dark-skinned people and lighter-skinned people?
Yeah, definitely, because, like, I'm sure there's a bunch of companies who think we definitely need, like, more equality and, like, to have different shades, but then there's also a lot who doesn't really care, and they're like, we're just doing this for the media, so we'll pull in a few darker people just to see if they could get their shade.
Yeah. Do you think that that the pressures and stuff for women, unfortunately, to be like thinner and stuff has increased or decreased with the rise of social media?
Definitely increased.
Increased? Okay.
Maybe because, like, there's so many people being like, here's my weight loss journey.
Oh, yeah.
And then on the other side, there's people like, your body is fine. You're okay.
Yeah. Do you have any advice for other young people about beauty or beauty standards?
Just be yourself. Because, like, if you're yourself, people will feel, like, comfortable around you. And then you're like, maybe you'll get more friends.
Yeah.
You don't need to, like, follow every trend. Because these trends go faster than me saying the word trend.
Yeah.
There will be some trends that stick along, like leggings. I don't know.
Yeah, or like bell bottoms. Like those are always around.
Yeah, those will like always stay the same. I'm thinking of another pair of jeans. I would say low-rise jeans. They'll like come back and then go and then come back and then go.
Yeah, I'm kind of into like mid-rise right now, kind of. Was there anything that like surprised you or that you agree with or like disagree with?
Definitely when she talked about the shoe thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have one pair of Crocs, I have 4 pairs of sandals, and then 2 boots. Mm-hmm. And then I think I have like 4 heels. But I would definitely not say I buy 7 pairs of shoes per year. But what also surprised me was that when we searched up the jean thing.
So when Julia mentioned that her work did a study on how many jeans the average person buys per year, Tony and I were interested in an exact number. So we looked it up, and what we found was that the average American owns about 7 pairs of jeans. And we didn't quite find how many jeans the average person buys per year, just from a quick search. But we did find how many jeans the average American owns, and apparently it's 7. Oh, yeah.
Because I know that, like, I know a bunch of people that all they wear is jeans.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm very shocked that more people don't buy, like, 10 or 15 pairs.
Yeah.
That really surprises me.
Yeah.
Bell bottoms are my all-time favorite. Like, the leggings, the jeans. I like it because they're straight and then they go out. It's kind of like a dress for your legs.
I love that. We should start a jean brand, a dress for your legs.
Wait, actually, that's really good.
We should. That'll be the quote of the podcast, or like the saying of the podcast. Dress for your legs. So there we have it. The definition of bell bottoms and the caption of the podcast is dresses for your legses. Anyway, I thought this was a great episode. I really loved both of their perspectives and opinions on beauty and fashion and beauty standards. I really thought that Julia's perspective on beauty and fashion is super interesting just because she has so much knowledge around the origins of her clothes. I think it's super interesting, and I wish everybody had all that knowledge about, you know, clothes and beauty products and stuff. I also thought that it was really interesting when Tony said that, you know, like pressures for women to be super thin have gone up with social media. And I guess I wasn't surprised by that, but I guess also with the body positive movement and all that stuff, I just really thought that it would kind of be leveled out, but yeah, man, our world's gonna work on not pressuring women. I'm just gonna go against my word though, because at the very, very end of every episode, if you listen to the very end, I always say, remember, no one is perfect. Bye. But I'm gonna go against that and just say that you are perfect just the way you are. You don't need to be thinner. You don't need to be prettier. You are beautiful just how you are. And if someone can't see that, then that's their problem. You are perfect just the way you are. And I'm still gonna say at the end of the episode, remember, no one is perfect. Bye. But you are perfect. Your body is perfect. So yeah, I just want to leave you guys with that, and I'll see you guys on the next episode of The Perfect Daughter. The Perfect Daughter is a Rizzle Dizzle Entertainment original. I'm your host, Ellen. The Perfect Daughter is produced, mixed, made, and edited by me. Special thanks to my mom, Virginia Patterson, for help with the website, which you can go check out for more information about The Perfect Daughter. The theme music was written, produced, mixed, and made by me. And you can find more episodes and minisodes of The Perfect Daughter on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Remember, no one is perfect. Bye!